In this free presentation, I'm going to teach you how to create multiple websites generating $500 to $1,000 per month in the next 30 days. These are websites that you rank in Google, then rent out to other businesses for a monthly fee. Okay, so that's a very simplistic version of what I'm going to talk about today. Even if you don't know a thing about SEO or how Google works, my 30-day criteria was for someone starting completely from scratch. So the whole point of this video, the whole training is based around the exact same formula that helped me generate over $1.4 million in 2015. I really don't like showing stats and things like that. It's really not my style. You only see this screenshot on videos of mine on this training. You won't see them anywhere else. So there's my income for 2015. $1,017,721 received in PayPal. The thing I hate about that screenshot is the $37,000 that I had to pay in fees, and around $400,000 was sent to us directly. So a big part of how I built this business and built this revenue with my business partner is what we're going to be talking about today. More specifically, I'm going to teach you how to quickly find businesses spending over $1,000 per day on Google AdWords who you can contact to rent out a site to. I'm going to show you the 4 most important pages you must have on every website you rent out. I'm going to give you an actual case study of a real website being ranked in Google, 2 websites actually in the same industry, and then rented out to legitimate businesses. I'm going to talk about the $1,000 rule when it comes to finding an industry to target, so you don't try and rank for something that isn't relevant and isn't going to make money, or it's going to require too many leads for the client to be interested in paying you, and so on. This $1,000 rule solves pretty much every question you can have. And I'm going to show how I conduct all of my industry research again before deciding on a niche. You're literally going to be looking over my shoulder. I'm going to go over to my web browser. I'm going to show you all of the tools I use. I'm going to show you Google results again on my screen, just going through every little thing that I do personally, step by step, that you can copy. So lots of cool stuff I'm going to be sharing today that honestly you cannot find anywhere else. So let's get into it. Just as a quick warning, very quick, I am taking this video offline on Wednesday the 8th of February 2017. So I'm putting this in the video so there's no fake countdown timers above here or any, links saying close in 7 days, and it never actually closes in 7 days. Not my style. This will be offline on Wednesday 8th of February. So before we get into the good stuff, I just want to give a very quick introduction to myself, just to show I know a little bit about what I'm talking about. But again, I really don't care about my own story too much, so this will be quick. No guide to making money online is complete without the stereotypical douchebag photo in a Lamborghini. So that's me, Glenn, in the Lamborghini, and my business partner, Diggy, in the Ferrari F430. Now, these are not our cars. These are cars that we rented. And at 6'4", I am way too tall to sit comfortably in that Lamborghini for more than 30 minutes. But they kind of go with every internet marketing training that I see online. So just as a bit of fun, just throwing that in there. So my real story, again, just very quick. At 18 years old, I left Newcastle, England, and I left my accent there as well, to move to Cape Town, South Africa, to generate website traffic for brands like Hewlett-Packard, Nissan, and Bacardi. A few years later, I was honored to be contacted by Wiley, who got in touch with me and asked me to write the book Viral Marketing for Dummies. Now, I don't know if you've read a For Dummies book before, but long story short, my writing style is very different to what a For Dummies book looks like. They have bullet points everywhere, warning boxes that jump out, little note boxes. I want to write like a marketing book that flows and continues. Wasn't really something that would have been good for either of us, so I wrote most of the book, realized it was very different. I sent back my advance, but I was very flattered to be asked to do that. Today, my work, I cannot believe this even when I'm talking about it, is featured in places I honestly never thought I'd be talking about. So Chris Brogan and Julian Smith, I don't know why it says Juliet Smith there, I'll have to let him know on the author side, but they wrote about me in their New York Times best-selling book, The Impact Equation, and they compared me to Seth Godin, which is like one of my heroes, so that was incredible. Just talking about my writing style being long and flowing and whatever, compared to Seth, where it's short and impactful, just showing different kind of content. Both styles of content can work online. So very flattered about that. One of my first pieces of press was being featured in the Guardian newspaper. That was back in 2010, talking about me traveling the world and making money online. And I get featured and talked about in places like Forbes. So very cool, and I'm very honored anytime I get mentioned on any of these kind of big news websites. Now, looking back, it's easy to highlight all of the cool pieces of press like The Guardian and Forbes and getting to write a book and so on. But the truth is, I built my first online business at 16 years old, worked on it for 18 months, and I didn't land a single client. So that is the website. That is really what Viberchill, the site you may know me for, or Gaps. This was this website I had before Gaps. Here is my website, 16 years old, back in 2006, so 11 years ago now. And I was trying to offer website design, search engine submission, I don't know really what I was talking about, what I was doing, but that was my website. I thought that I would get clients, and it turns out you have to actually get people to come to your website. You can't just put something online and expect people to send you money. Then someone reached out to me and suggested that I build a blog. So I put a blog on the website, and WordPress was just coming out at the time. And I wrote literally hundreds of articles for the website, and my feed count stood at a whopping 19 subscribers. There it is back in 2007. This is a real screenshot what the website looked like. Don't ask me why my 16, 17-year-old self thought I should put my face in the middle of every article. But there I am, my feed burner chiclet showing 19 subscribers. And at this point, I had written hundreds of articles for the blog. Now, I did actually land a few clients here and there, but it was very inconsistent. It wasn't a kind of month-to-month thing. I could go months without getting anyone to be interested in my services. And the worst thing that happened was actually my best client. I was so proud to land. They were a pretty big brand in the UK at the time. They asked to be removed from my clients page. So that was Phones for You. So definitely not a success story from the start, any kind of overnight success. Now, I know it's common to share these quote unquote sub stories of zero to hero or whatever you want to call it, but my constant failure is public. I'm not just trying to highlight something, the bad times to make it seem like I went through so many struggles. It is true. After this webinar, after this video, you can go to archive.org, you can put in viberchill.com, and you can see the entire journey of my SEO business and my company and my writing and so on from 2006 now to 2017. So from 2006 to 2013, my writing was awful, my design was terrible, I didn't really have any readers, anything like that. And then you will see from 2013 up until now in 2017, you will see that my writing got a bit better, my designs got a bit better. I say awesome there, it wasn't really awesome, but you can just kind of see my progression. So the results I have now was not some overnight success, but I have learned a lot of things on the way that I'm going to teach you today. It's certainly easier to talk about these failures now that my business is successful. I am very honored that I'm not the only one who has benefited from my insights. So I have been able to teach people to have success with this same model. So before Gaps, I actually created a website called Cloud Niche. This was back in 2011, so forgive the design. Basically, I had all of these website ideas that I didn't have time to build myself, but I thought someone else should build them. So I created this email list. Don't go check it out now, there's nothing there. I created this email list for people to get those ideas. And then later on, so that was running for a couple of years, I created this on Viberchill. Again, all of these kind of business ideas that I didn't have time to do myself, but I knew people could make money with, and I was sharing them. And today now you see me doing that with Gaps and all of the opportunities I'm sharing. But this business model that I'm going to share with you today, it is the only model I have had consistent success teaching. And again, I've taught a lot of different angles. It's the only thing I've had consistent success teaching, and the only thing I have personally consistently been successful with. So just to show I can teach this business model, this good looking guy on the left, this is Azam. He's from the UK, and he was totally new to this business model. He was on a video, on a webinar just like this one, training video in middle of 2015. Very, very quickly after watching the video, Azam quickly passed the $14,000 per month mark, and he also has the world's coolest accent. So of course I didn't help him with that. I get a lot of insults on my own accent, but I just love highlighting Azam's story. Not just because of the money he's making, because he didn't just stop there and think, oh, I'm making this money, I'll go take a holiday for a few months or, quit my job and blah, blah, blah. Instead, Azam is just going out there and trying to build his business and grow and so on. So here he is in January 9th. Here he is being featured in the business section of the Huffington Post. So he's on a video like this one a couple of years ago, mid of 2015, followed the model. Now he's doing very, very well online. And yes, we have people starting in 2016, starting in 2017, getting great results as well. And I will get to them a little bit later. But just to show I have had success transferring my insights to other people and then having them follow what I have to share. So why am I teaching this? Well, being totally honest, creating this presentation, this video for you is not entirely selfless. I have learned far more from students of this method than I have doing this journey on my own. So just to give you some examples, when I'm teaching this to other people, I get to learn things like people contact me and said, hey, I thought of this industry to rank a website in and it's work. Have you tried it? It's working for me. Have you tried this idea? Or they said, I had this idea. I was able to contact a business in this certain way and they rented out my website and they rented out another website from me. Have you tried this, Glenn? This is awesome. This works, and so on. Or I used these kind of links to rank my website quickly in Google. Or I found this cheap hosting to host all these sites and they're all ranking and I'm not having any issues with them all being in the same hosting, and so on. I just get so much feedback from people going through this training that I learn a lot for myself in my own business. So it's not entirely selfless. So to give an example, here's an email I got back in 2016, towards the end of 2016, from a guy named Debjit, and he just reached out to me, and this is pretty common. And he says, Glenn, I've ranked a bunch of websites in 4 to 5 neighborhoods in the city I live in for the keyword mommy makeover plus area. Rented all 4 sites out. Okay, so I didn't ask him. I never knew Debjit or anything about him until he got in touch with me. But he watched a video like this, learned a lot, started making money, and then got in touch with me to give me some ideas. And just to look at the Google Trends screenshot there for mommy makeover, it is a growing industry. It's something I had no idea about until Debjit got in touch with me. So again, I learn a lot from my own business. Now, there is of course no requirement to share anything with me at all, and I don't know every single person who's watching this, so don't worry about that. Just when I help people make money or when I help them succeed with this kind of thing, they generally return the favor as well, so I do really enjoy teaching it. Now, if you are going to succeed with what I'm going to teach you today, you must know why. Why I believe this is the ultimate business model everyone looking to make a living from the internet should follow. So I share a lot of ideas, but there is a reason I have consistent success with this, and I have consistent success teaching it to others for them to have success with it as well. So I'm going to talk about the whys and then get into all of the strategy and that kind of thing. So why number 1, the industry is growing at an alarming rate. So this is a report from Search Engine Land, one of the top SEO blogs, May 2016. They said the SEO industry is worth $65 billion. Will it ever stop growing? So they're talking about in the middle of 2016, even today, even though SEO has been around for like 15 years or so now, it is still a massively growing industry. And just a chart here, just to show where the billions are being spent. This is in billions. This is where the billions are being spent online. So 9% is for research, 17% is ad production, 12% is online marketing support, but a big slice of the pie, 52%, $322 billion annually is being spent on web presence. So that's things like ranking in Google and getting websites noticed. This is not only a growing industry, it's where the money is being spent. And one of the reasons so much money is being spent here and continuing to be spent here is theorized to be because of the use of ad blockers. So people are installing ad blockers on Chrome or Firefox or whatever web browser they use so that when they go to YouTube or any website, they don't see ads. The thing is, you don't want to block natural search results, so that is a great market there. There's a great opportunity there. People don't block the ads on Google. They block them on random websites or before videos are playing and so on. So because it's getting more difficult to put your ads on, CNN or TMZ or whatever news website is out there, Google results are still consistent and people are still clicking on them in the billions every single day. So that's one of the theories about why search is still growing like crazy. So why number 2? SEO was 3rd and 4th on LinkedIn's most searched for skills. So this was released in 2016, the results for 2015. The hottest skills of 2015 on LinkedIn, number 3 was marketing campaign management, so doing SEO and marketing for people. And number 4, SEO, search engine optimization, ranking websites in Google. It was the 4th most searched for skill in 2015 on LinkedIn. So what that means is, even if you are not going to follow the business model I talk about today, but I think you will when you see the kind of results and the potential and the possibilities here, even if you don't follow it, learning SEO and knowing how to rank websites is an incredible skill to have. employers around the world are looking for this info. So that I got this data in 2016 for the year of 2015. Now in 2017, they released the data of 2016, but they did it on a country specific basis. So we can take a few countries here. Top skills of 2016 on LinkedIn. Again, I took this data now in 2017. Number 3 is SEO. So that's for Germany. For France, number 5 is SEO. It's a top skill that people are looking for. In Australia, number 2, SEO. In the Netherlands, number 2, SEO. In Singapore, number 2, SEO. In the United Kingdom, number 7, SEO. Even in the United Arab Emirates, number 5, SEO. So again, even if you don't want to follow the exact business model I'm going to talk about today, learning about SEO and knowing how Google works and so on is a very sought after skill that you can always make money from. Why number 3? You don't have to meet a single client in person. Now, admittedly, I am a bit of an introvert, and that is why I love this business model. Because out of more than 300 clients that I have worked with, I have only met one in person, and that's because he was already a friend of mine, and then he asked me about how he could improve his website and get more traffic and so on. So out of more than 300 clients I've worked with, I've only ever met one of them in person. What generally happens is they find one of my websites, one of my brand's ranking, or one of my rank and rent websites, and then they reach out to me. So this is from April 7th. This is Alibaba, one of the biggest companies in the world with billions and billions of dollars. It's the only thing that kept Yahoo worth a lot of money because they had shares in them. They were reaching out. They found my website. I didn't have to do any kind of outreach, and they're contacting us saying, hey, we're looking for someone to do link building for SEO. Could you give more information on so on? And these emails come in every couple of days from big companies trying to do work with us. For Rank and Rent, the reason why you don't have to meet anybody in person is because all they want is your top Google rankings. All they want to know is that you rank in Google for something relevant to their business. So it's a plastic surgery company or whatever it is, that you rank in Google. They want that traffic. They want those rankings. There is no reason to meet. There's no reason to talk. You either give them the site and the traffic for a certain amount for a monthly fee, or you don't. That is it. Number 4, you will never run out of potential clients. So here's some pretty interesting numbers for you. Every single minute, there are 118 new websites coming online. That's 7,083 new websites every hour, or 170,000 new websites every single day that are being created. So tomorrow there will be 170,000 new websites on the internet that did not exist today. And all of these websites are competing for the same 10 spots in Google. And often the case these days is that it's not even 10 spots. There's like 3 ads, there's map results, there's a YouTube listing, there's related questions that Google put in there, and just a couple of organic natural results that aren't ads. So 170,000 new websites every day. They all want to rank for something. They all want relevant traffic, but there's only 10 results in Google. We have a joke in the SEO world. The best place to hide a dead body is on page 2 of Google because nobody goes there. So everyone is trying to rank on this first page. Why number 5? Your revenue can be made totally passive. So I always recommend anyone building some kind of SEO business, I recommend that they at least learn some part of it and learn how SEO works and Google works. But it doesn't mean you have to do all of the work yourself. Just a simple search for SEO outsourcing will find more than 600,000 results in Google. Or if you want to get a freelancer or on a website like Upwork, the quote on their website, they say that if you submit an SEO job, so if you get a client or you want someone to help you rank your own website in Google, if you post one job, you will get an average of 41 replies to your request. So there is absolutely no shortage. If you get clients or if you want to rank your own website and you need help or you want to outsource any of the process, there is absolutely no shortage of people who can do it for you. Why number 6? This is probably my favorite. We're almost done now and we're going to get into the good stuff, and I'm going to go kind of over my shoulder and go on my web browser and show you how I get started with all this. But just why number 6? I love this one. Your physical location and language are irrelevant. So this is marketing companies, SEO agencies in Australia, Brazil, Finland, Italy, Japan, Mexico, Netherlands, Philippines, Portugal, Spain, Sweden. And every single one of these companies, don't worry, you don't have to take a screenshot. I can send it to you after the video if you want the list. Every single one of them makes more than $15,000 a month online. I know that because they're part of the HubSpot Partner Program and they must verify a certain level of ranking. I think it's called the Diamond Partner level. You can only get that Diamond qualification if you're making $15,000 a month, and HubSpot independently verify that. So these companies are making a lot of money. Does not matter where they are. Everyone in the world, no matter the language, as long as they have internet, they're going to some search engine and searching for what they want to find. Why number 7? It is easier than ever to find companies with huge SEO budgets that you can rent websites out to or do any other kind of SEO for. So I'm going to jump, I don't know why people say jump, so I put it in quotes there. I'm going to jump over to my computer, open up my web browser, and get into the good stuff. I just wanted to show you, I wanted you to see why I believe there's so much potential here, because if I do that, then there's more chance that you're going to be taking action with it, and that is what I want. I want you to get results. And just as a quick note before I do that, if you stick to the end of this video, this training today, I'm going to send you a case study, not Exam, another one. Told you I have a lot of people who have had success with this. I'm going to send you a case study of one of my students who went through training just like this one, who is now making more than $10,000 per month doing this same model. So let's jump over to my screen. So I'm over here on Google now, and I've opened up a few tabs in advance just because my internet isn't that great today. So what you can see here is I've just entered a random search term in Google, okay? No real reason that I've entered this. Tattoo removal, New York City. It's a service that people search for. Businesses are buying ads for this term. It's worth a lot of money. We're going to talk about something, a rule later on, so it's relevant to that. There's map results here that people are listing for, and then there's organic results as well, YouTube videos and so on. So there's a lot of ads, there's maps, and it's relevant to what we're talking about today. So these 4 results, 1, 2, 3, 4, with the ad icon next to them, and we can go down, we can see one more. There's 5 ads on this page alone. What we're going to be doing the research for here is it possible that we could rank in these natural results here and convince some of these companies to actually buy the ranking from us? So instead of having to pay all of that money to Google, or including paying money to Google for having the ads here, they could also be getting some free traffic, because none of them, from what I can see, Smooth Laser, no, none of them I can see are actually in the natural results. They're only getting clicks because they're running ads. So I'm going to take this one here, number 2, VadaSpa.com, and what I've done is I'm going to head on over to SEMrush, and all I did is I entered, I'm not logged in, I don't have an account here. I used to, but I don't anymore, not something I need. So I put in that domain, VadaSpa.com, I clicked on search, and then what this tool shows you is it shows you all of the different keywords that they are buying ads for. So not only are they buying ads for tattoo removal NYC, they're also buying ads for laser tattoo removal, couples spa NYC, couples massages NYC, best tattoo removal NYC. So click on view full report, and again I have that one open already, and then we can see, so I'm not logged in, just using a free account here, so you can only get 10 results, but it's definitely good enough for initial research. So I can see they're bidding on 10 of these terms here. Laser hair removal armpit. Does that mean you want to take your armpit away? Tattoo removal NYC, hair removal, best tattoo removal. So they're buying a lot of terms, and then this volume is kind of an estimation on how many times these terms are searched for a month. So tattoo removal NYC gets around 720 searches per month, and then this again is just an estimation of how much of the clicks they're getting. So for this one, laser tattoo removal NYC, they're position 1. The search volume is around 260 searches a month. For 1 click on the ad, it costs around $10.44 to advertise. So which one? What was mine? Tattoo removal NYC. That if I clicked on that ad, they could be paying up to $10 just for me to click on it right now. So don't go and do that. Don't go and cost them money. But I'm just showing you the kind of pricing that is involved here. So this one, 260 searches a month, cost per click around $10, $10.50 per click, and they're getting around 40% of the clicks. So let's just go a little bit less than 40%. Let's just say out of those 200 searches, they're getting 100 clicks per month at $10 each. That's $1,000 a month that they are paying just for 1 key phrase. And the idea here is not just to stick with the first term, so you don't, you just, whatever's in your head, any kind of service, any kind of location, you don't have to stick with that. You can use the research you're doing to find more terms. So which one we found here, laser hair removal armpit. So I just headed on over to Google, and this time I searched for laser hair removal NYC. So we got some more results here. We got BLC Body Boutique, Great Neck Medical Spa, Laser Away, Rita Hazan. So what are they paying? Laser hair removal, New York. Yeah, so that's around $18 a click. It's definitely not cheap to be advertising there. And the sites, so I just opened up the sites that are advertising here and for this search term. They really don't look good at all. Like this, anyone who knows anything about conversion optimization would never put a contact form all the way down here, especially when you're buying ads. Really not attractive to look at. Doesn't really show anything, just some fake, not fake, but some stock image. Nothing really great going on there. So the next one, Great Neck Medical Spa. Again, not the best looking website. Generic stock photos, again, a little bit better on the conversion side of things, but nothing special. Next one, Laser Away, a little bit better. They got better looking photos. Kim Kardashian going on there. Much better box here. It's a little bit annoying. You can put it away, but I'm sure they're doing much better conversions than the other ads. Phone number is very clear. Just a much better looking website. And this one, Rita Hazan, New York. It's not, they're not doing a great job, basically. What they're spending money, they're probably getting some clients, so they wouldn't keep running ads. But if I'm looking for laser hair removal, do I really want to see the whole team, or do I want to see pictures of removing hair, or do I want people with long hair and just a random picture of the sofa? So I don't think they're doing a great job, but that's not my issue. So I just wanted to show you the kind of companies that are buying and spending a lot of money. I'm guessing this is a big brand in America. Don't know. I've never been. But these are the kind of companies that are spending thousands of dollars every month on Google AdWords because they want service-focused traffic. So now I'm going to take a little detour for a second. I just wanted to show you this chart. So it's a Google search click-through rate. And basically, so there's tons of these charts all over the web. They all say different numbers. It's just kind of an estimation on how many clicks you get based on where you're ranking in Google. So if you're ranking first, you can get 7% of clicks. Second, around 3% of clicks. Third, around 2% of clicks. And the further you are down a Google results page, the fewer clicks that you're going to receive. Again, these numbers are not exact. They vary based on different industry. They vary based on who's reporting it. But it's pretty much a given that the further down a search result you are, the fewer clicks you're going to receive. So although it's not ideal, although this is competitive because there are ads here, there's map listings here, people do still click on these links. Okay, it's not that everyone clicked on number 1 and these sites don't have a chance. Page 2 and page 3, yeah, it's getting a lot more difficult, but for page 1, people are still clicking on these organic search results. Now, I don't see it right now, but a website that I always see, and because I've done this test now for months, I'm doing it again now in 2017, but I've ran this search query in 2015, 2016, when making training videos like this one, and there's a website I always see. They're not running ads at the moment, or maybe they would be if I refresh, but that website is called, but that company is lasertouchsoho.com. So once again, I've put them into SEMrush, search for Laser Touch Soho, clicked on search, and then we can see, so they're still buying ads, they haven't stopped. They're buying ads for things like best laser hair removal, Laser Touch Soho, lip fillers in New York City, stretch mark removal. So lots of different services that people are going to be interested in, that they sell, and they make money if, of course, if they get a client, if they convince someone who searched that on Google and actually they walk into their store. So again, clicking on view full report, I already have this open. I can see some of the terms they're buying ads for: laser hair removal, Botox NYC, best laser hair removal, tattoo removal, and so on. So we can do a little bit of maths here for the search volume. So 2,900 searches per month. They get around 10% of clicks. Again, this is just an estimation, but we're just trying to work this out here. So that is around 290 clicks. And then they're paying on average $15.69 per click. So 15.69. And we result. So for one term alone, they are estimated to be paying around $4,500 per month to Google AdWords, just for a single search term, laser hair removal NYC. And there's a lot of competition. When I search for that right now, they're not even here. There's a lot of competition for this term, but it just shows how much money that is being spent online trying to rank, people trying to get rank and trying to get traffic for service-related terms that are perfect for this rank and rent model. So if we just go over to their website, they've actually redesigned. So I said I've done this search term in 2015, 2016, doing it again now in 2017. They've actually redesigned their site. It does look a bit better. It's very odd that things stand out, like the word "and" is a link. Still a bit odd, but again, what I want to show is that these companies, even though they have thousands of dollars to spend, look at this. I highlight something, it just disappears. They have so much money to spend on ads, but they make so many mistakes. There's so many things that they could be doing better. And the reason I always highlight this website is because even though they've just overgone this redesign, when I click on the blog link here, this is their blog. lasertouchsoho.com/blog. I've been sharing this example for more than 2 years. It's still happening now in 2017. I assume someone would have reached out to them and they would have fixed it. But again, it just shows that these companies, they have a lot of money to spend, they're making a lot of money, and there's potential for them to send you money as well. If you can rank somewhere in Google, start getting some traffic for that search term, and then sending those leads back to the company. Now, you already know I've had a lot of success utilizing the power of SEO. What I haven't yet told you is that my business is essentially broken down into 2 parts. So I have a number of agencies serving different locations in different industries where I offer all kinds of SEO services, and then I follow the rank and rent method where I try and rank websites to the top of Google or high up enough that I'm getting traffic and leads and then rent them out as we've discussed. So what I want to do now is just break them down for you and show you how the 2 different sides of my business differ from each other. So for the setup cost for an agency, you're probably looking at around $11 to $100 for the website. You know, if you have to buy a theme and so on, it goes up closer to that $100, but you only typically create 1 website. For rank and rent, I spend around $18 per site. So that's $9 for a domain name, $2 for hosting, and $5 to $7 for some content. So it can be more or less if I'm writing the content myself or I'm outsourcing it. And if I'm putting a lot of work into link building, could be more expensive. But as we'll discuss later, to me, rank and rent is a numbers game, and I don't build links until something is already showing good signs of ranking. The average earnings for an agency, I'm not going to say you can get $10,000, $50,000 a month clients. It's possible, but if you're just starting out, it's not realistic. A good sum that you could likely charge a business is somewhere in the region of $1,000 to $5,000 per month. With a rank and rent site, it is not easy unless you're getting a lot of leads in a very lucrative niche. It's not easy to get more than $1,000 a month. So typically around $500 to $1,000 per month, you could rent a website out for. With an agency, you're more than likely going to have to do the white hat natural link building. So writing great content that gets links, doing blogger outreach, guest posting, and so on. You can veer from that white hat side of things if the client is aware of it, but typically they want, you know, the quote-unquote legit stuff that Google is supposed to love. With rank and rent, probably the main reason I like this model is you can do whatever you want. It's your website. If you want to push the boundaries a little bit to do what it takes to rank in Google, you can do that because there's no one hurting from it. If you lose the rankings, you lose your client, okay, but you can get the rankings in any way you want, any type of link that you want. Clients typically want ranking reports. That's pretty much the only thing I've ever offered clients, and they're happy with that. I say, if I rank you higher, if I get you more traffic, if I can get you more leads, that's it. I will send you a report on the rankings. If that's up, traffic is likely to be up. You tell me. If you're happy, we keep going. If you're not happy, we can stop. No problem. I've never had a client want to get on the phone with me and so on, anything like that. I'm very clear about what I offer and who I offer it to. And as long as I'm getting results, people are happy with that. For rank and rent, the requirement is that your website ranks and it's getting traffic and it's getting leads. It's up to the client, whoever rents the website, to determine whether they want to keep paying, whether they're getting the leads and traffic that they want or not. For an SEO agency, I've been able to teach this model many people to be able to get their first clients within a month. Some of them had friends who they knew, okay, they could benefit from having SEO done on their website or whatever, or they've just reached out to people in areas that they know and they've been able to land clients. With rank and rent, you have to rent first. You're not going to really rent out a website that isn't ranking. So typically anywhere from 3 to 7 weeks, 1 to 2 months, you can start seeing some progress and having a chance to actually rent a website out. So the main benefits of each: for the SEO agency, again, just build one website. You can make more money per client. You can create a real brand. So some people don't like the rank and rent angle just because it's, they don't get to show off what they're doing. So with an agency, you can create a real brand, and you don't always need to rank a website. It may be on-site SEO. You're helping them with changes to their site, giving them suggestions on what content to write that people might link to. With rank and rent, it's pretty much 60-minute website setup. I think that's actually very generous. It's a lot quicker than that once you know what you're doing and you've had a bit of practice. You can build any type of link that you want. It's incredibly easy to scale. So if you find an industry that it's working well in, you can keep building more and more sites very quickly. And if you want, you can outsource 100% of the work. Any kind of link building, any kind of website setup, any kind of finding the niche for you to target next, all of that can be outsourced. Now, I don't really have a favorite, but I make more money. There's more money to be made, I believe, with offering your own services. It's easier to get one client to pay you $5,000 a month than it is to rent out 10 websites for $5,000 a month. That's just my personal opinion. Again, I do not have a favorite, and there's a reason I do both. There's benefits to each, and they both have great potential to make a lot of money. Of course, there are added costs and responsibilities with having an agency and so on, which is why I prefer teaching the rank and rent method, especially to people just starting out with SEO and getting started online, and I get great feedback on this from students. Now, rank and rent, we actually started talking about this back in 2012, so it's quite a long time ago now that this model has been around. And funny, you can see, not too long ago, middle of last year, people are talking about rank and rent SEO. Is this the next frontier in SEO? So we've been doing it for a few years now, not being egotistical there. We're not the only ones, but even now, people are still just catching on. So there's still a lot of opportunities available. And just to show an example, here's a tweet I received back just towards the end of last year. At Viberchill, just had my first inquiry on a rank and rent website that is just over a week old. Thanks for the motivation to make these. So it's pretty cool to see tweets like that. Someone just watching a video like this, taking action and getting results. So again, just to remind you of the formula, very, very simple. You find a keyword that you wish to rank for, you build a site and rank for that term in Google, and then you rent that ranking to an actual business in the industry that you're ranking for. So I'm just going to sidestep a little bit for a second, and I want to explain that companies are constantly pitched SEO. So this is a chart. Unfortunately, I can't find any data for 2015, 2016, but I'm pretty sure these numbers are very accurate, and the numbers are probably a lot higher now. If we add up the top 3 percentages, so every day 35%, 2 to 3 times a week 22%, that's 57%, add 20%, 77% of companies who were interviewed for this survey, just a random selection of companies, are pitched by an SEO company at least once a week. 77%, that is pretty huge. And the reason I share this with you, because I want to explain why this rank and rent model works so well. The reason it works so well is because you're no longer saying, like these typical pitches that everyone gets once a week, you're no longer saying, hey, I can help you with SEO, I'm one of the good guys, ignore all the other emails you get. You're not trying to break through that noise with the same pitch that they're getting, every other day of the week. Instead, you're now saying, I know SEO because I'm already ranking in Google for a keyword relevant to your business. Here I am. Here's my search result. I already rank for this. Do you want it? So it's not promising them, hey, I can do this. It's showing I did it. It is a much better angle to be pitching yourself from. And essentially, this whole rank and rent model is technically a way I like to describe it is about owning your own quote-unquote real estate. Now, even if you're worried about doing SEO, I know a lot of people, when I teach the agency side of things, they think, well, can I really do SEO for someone if I haven't had any experience, I don't really know what I'm doing. It's a great way to test SEO, see if you have any skills, learn how Google works, learn how to get a website ranking, even build a website. Maybe the first time you're building a website, is a great way to start testing things. And remember those LinkedIn screenshots from earlier. SEO is such an in-demand topic even now in 2017. It's such an in-demand skill. So just to start learning it, even if you think I'm bullshitting this whole thing, just to start learning it and trying it and seeing what happens, you're going to learn so much. And that's what happened for me 11 years ago. I just started trying it, and then you see your website ranking Google, and it's such a great feeling. If you just rank one website, your confidence and hopefully your income level are going to go through the roof. So going back to the niche that we covered earlier, that left-hand side is not our target market. It's our target market who could potentially be renting the website from us, but we're not going to rank in the ad results unless we're paying for them, which is not what I do. We're not going to rank in the map pack unless we actually have a business in a certain location. So the map on the left, we call that the map pack. Where we want to be ranking is these results further down. I couldn't fit the whole thing on one screenshot, but on the right hand side, scrolling further down from that screenshot, those search results, these natural results on the right here is where we want to be to rent the websites out to someone else. So just an example here, Satori Laser. I didn't cover them in the video, but it's another example that you can go through in SEMrush and see how much money they're spending. We already know that companies in their same industry, Satori Laser, offering this kind of hair removal in New York or anywhere else in the world, some of them are paying $700 per day just to rank for relevant keywords. So we covered that. We saw the one example spending around $4,000 a month. And once you start adding up all those terms, it gets very expensive. So keep in mind, fewer people do click further down search results, so they're more likely to click on ads and map results, but they do still click. Now the question you have to ask yourself if you're doubting this model is just to see the potential here. Would a company paying $10,000 a month to Google, and again you can go through SEMrush, and the company I highlighted, Laser Touch Soho, they actually spent $100,000 in a single month. That was last November. So these individual brands are spending a lot of money. So would a company that's spending $10,000 a month to Google be willing to pay you $500 a month for lesser traffic but of the same relevance, of the people looking for the same services? Would they do that? They have the money for it, so there should be no surprise if the answer is yes. I don't want to get distracted in too many tangents and angles. What I'm going to do, along with the $10,000 a month case study, not companies, I should say companies, but I'm going to leave that in there, where companies are paying hundreds of dollars for one click on Google AdWords. So you can get that PDF, you can get inspiration for other industries and angles to look into, and I will send you that straight after this video. So for around 12 months when I was first getting started with this R&R model, my process would be to set up around 7 websites every single Monday. These websites are typically only 2 to 5 pages and can be set up in 30 to 45 minutes each. So earlier I said around 60 minutes, but I did say that was generous. Once you get going, 30 to 45 minutes really doesn't take much more time than that. Now let's just be pessimistic here. Let's just say that out of 7 websites I set up every week, only one of them rank in Google. Out of 28 websites for the month, that's 4 which rank. And let's just say instead of I'm not getting the maximum, the $1,000 a month, let's just say I'm only renting them out for $500 per month. I've made an investment of around $282 to $400. $280 is the domain name, so they're around $9 to $10 each, and the $2 is the hosting. Up to $400 if you want to buy themes and buy links to help you rank in Google and so on. And now I'm making $2,000 per month. My future spend is only $2 a month for the hosting. $280 was once per year for the domains, and I'm still making $2,000 per month, and I still own the websites. They are my websites. I'm just letting someone else use them. Now, I have many times had much better success than this, but I'm not trying to overhype anything. I just want you to see even the base level potential here. So just to give an example of how this works, okay, let's just say this is my website. It's not my website. I have no connection with them at all. They're ranking well in Google for Dallas personal injury lawyer. That's a pretty good niche that they're targeting, pretty focused towards an area, and there's a lot of money to be made if you can send someone a client who is a lawyer. So what I would do, if I was ranking this website and I want to rent it out, the first thing I would do is I would change the logo, so it's a logo relevant to the person, to the company that's renting it out. I would change the phone number so that it goes to their phones, and I would change the email address on this form to make sure that any inquiries go straight to them. Now, there are more technical things you can do, like you can do call tracking, so you can make sure that they're not lying about how many leads you're sending and so on. I just keep it very simple. Change the logo, change the number, change the email. Some people ask me, should I redirect the website to them? Should I put this big overlay on it? Should I use their graphics? Don't redirect the website. That's going to cost you your rankings. I don't like those big overlays that people use to cover the entire website. Just my own personal thoughts, and don't use any of their graphics unless they specifically ask for it. Just keep it simple. Change the logo, change your phone number. You basically want to make sure any leads, any potential inquiries go straight to whoever is renting the website from you. When you're just setting it up, your website simply needs a home page, an about page, a privacy policy page, and a contact page. The home page is really the only unique page that you need. Now let's look at very quickly at an actual case study just so you can see what I'm talking about in a bit more detail of websites created just to rank in Google and then to generate leads for a real business. So the niche I'm covering here is mobile pet grooming. So it's a pretty good industry. People come to your house and take care of your pet and cut their fur in your house for you. And if we use the Google Keyword Planner here, we can see mobile dog grooming gets around 27,000 searches per month. Mobile pet grooming gets around 14,000 searches per month. And if you were to buy ads on Google, you'd be paying anywhere from $1.40 to $1.80 per click on average. So I study lots of niches like this. I always want to find who's doing the same formula ranking on Reddit, and if there's industries that I can possibly get into as well. So I've tried to make this result as anonymous as possible. Just look at the title tag there. It's blurry and then something mobile pet grooming, dog grooming, cat grooming. And you can see the URL there. It's almost an exact match. I'll explain what that is in a moment. So it has the keyword in there and a location, which I've hidden in the search bar and in their domain name. And another one I'm going to show you is same industry, but it's a different website. You can see they have a different title tag there. So it's the same service, but they're ranking for a different location. So just going back to the first one, notice that title tag, mobile pet grooming something, and then something mobile pet grooming in the headline. And then here it is. So here's that first website. So it's mobile pet grooming something. And then look at how it is once you're on the website. It has a brand. They have a logo, awesome something. Look at the email, info@awesome something. So it's a website that's built on this mobile pet grooming location domain, but the entire website is a real brand. It's a real company. They're not branding themselves as mobilepetgrooming.com, or, I'm not saying the actual URL, but they're not branding themselves as that. All of the inquiries, they've got a phone number there, they've got a different email address there, go to a real business. So again, the title tag was the same as the one I showed you in Google, and the next one is going to be the same. So this next one is another one, mobilepetgroominglocation.com. They've got a phone number there, and look at the logo. It's Honey something. Again, they're not trying to brand themselves as some mobile pet grooming. It's someone who's done this to rank in Google and then promote real businesses to send them leads. So we can see the real website for this Honey business looks very different. They've even got a different phone number. So that one ends in 6868. This one ends in 87. It's likely they have some call tracking going on so they can tell who's actually sending them leads. But it's a very different website. So just a little real world example there for you. So if you're interested in this model, and I really hope you are, because I want to learn from you as well in the process. And if you want to take action, the first step is to follow the $1,000 rule. This is my own little rule that I made up a few years ago, and it's been really, really great to stick by. Before you decide on a niche that you want to target, that you want to rank for in Google, make sure a client to your client is worth at least $1,000. So what do I mean by that? Well, let's just say here's a local barbershop. They probably charge $10 to $40 per haircut. In order for them to be able to pay you $500 to $1,000 per month to get them more leads, you're going to have to send them a lot of customers. You're going to have to send them dozens or even hundreds of customers before they make at least $500 or $1,000 profit that they can send to you that they wouldn't have otherwise had. However, if you focus on another industry, for example, construction equipment rental, these pieces of equipment can cost upwards of $500 an hour, thousands of dollars per day. So in this case, all you would need to do is send them one or two leads in an entire month. You can make them thousands of dollars and they would happily pay you $500 to $1,000. So again, a client to your client, whoever you're helping, a lead must be worth a lot of money for them, or you're going to have to send a lot of leads, which is not so easy. Now, in the past, I have given a list of industries that follow the $1,000 rule, so industries where customers are worth at least $1,000, but I'm not going to do that. And the reason is people seem to limit themselves to my list. They don't tend to be creative. They just stick to the ideas I give, and then they find out that everyone else is doing the same, and it makes it more difficult for them. So I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to give you two great resources that you won't hear about anywhere else. The first one is Yell.com, that's for the UK, and Yellow Pages for the US. You can also use Yelp in the US and Canada. So what you can do on Yell or Yellow Pages is you pick a location, and then you can just look at the popular searches for that city. So if you don't know these websites, they're just like a directory of services. If you need a builder or a barber or an architect, you come here and you get the phone numbers from the directory. And another great one, I've never seen anyone talk about this, really, really great resource, is thumbtack.com/near-me. Once you're on that page, just click on Home Improvement Services, and it's just a huge list of all of the kind of services in the world that you could possibly think of that businesses exist to offer, and they would love to get more leads. So I can't even fit A on the entire screen. A is like double the length of this screenshot. So what do we have? We have affordable moving, affordable landscaping, aeration services, piano movers, lawn care services, interior design services, and then just think you can multiply this by every city and every town on the planet. So San Diego interior design, San Diego flooring installation, Miami cable repair, Texas above ground pool installers, and I'm only on A. So this is another great resource to get your brain flowing about all the possible services and industries and locations that you could rank for. It is important to remember that you don't need to reach thousands of people. We're not trying to get Facebook level kind of traffic numbers here. You just need to reach the right people. So here's a website of mine I set up a couple months ago. I haven't done anything to it. It is a one-page website. I swear to God, it's a one-page website, and it has a contact page. That's it. Okay, so it's a one-page website of content, and then you click on contact, and it's just a form. That is it. It's now getting up to 100 visitors a day. I haven't done any kind of marketing or promotion. It has 2 links from other websites, and those are links I created myself. I just signed up to some website, wrote a little article, and linked back to myself. That is it. It's hard to judge the exact price because there's so many different things to sell in this market. Although it is focused on one industry, an average sale could be anywhere from $100 to $10,000 if I was to send a single lead. In these search results that I'm ranking for, there are ads, a map pack, and I've never ranked in the top 3 on Google. Actually, I'm usually 9th, 10th, or 11th for my main key phrase. But even though that is the case, I'm still getting enough visitors that even if I only converted 1% of them, so that's 1 out of every 100 people who came to my site, even if I only converted 1% of them, that's still 20 leads a month I can send to a relevant business. So we're not trying to reach tens of thousands of people, just the right people. So putting this all into action, actually doing something with what we've discussed today. Head on over to Google. I can't share the link with you, it's too long. You're not going to remember it. Head on over to Google and search for Google Keyword Planner. Start typing in industries that you're interested in and see the kind of services and locations that people are looking for a certain service in. And I typically want to target something that gets between 500 and 5,000 searches per month. Less than 500 searches a month, you're not getting enough traffic to your website. More than 5,000, you can pretty much guarantee the search results are going to be very competitive. When you're looking at the search results, there is a lot to it, and I'm going to send you a video about that after this. I don't want to get too distracted in too many ideas, but what you generally want to see in search results is that there aren't really too many ads and the map results are not there, or if they are, there's only a couple of listings there. The domain you choose, I prefer .coms unless I'm trying to target a specific country. So a .com, I prefer an exact or close to exact match. So a exact match would be Architects Newcastle. So I'm trying to rank for people searching for an architect in Newcastle. Again, my home in the UK. The reason I chose .co.uk is because typically they tend to rank better in Google UK searches. For instance, in Australia, I would want a .com.au. In Canada, I'd want a .ca, but otherwise I would go with a .com domain. If you cannot get the exact match, so if you can't get Architects Newcastle, I would go with something like Architects Newcastle HQ or Architects Newcastle Now or something like that. Hosting, Namecheap.com, can't recommend them higher enough. That's not an affiliate link in any way. Just type that into your browser. I don't get any credit. $2 a month, you can host up to 10 websites. I've hosted 10 websites on the same server and had no issues with them ranking. CMS, so the platform to actually build your website on, WordPress.org, no argument about that. It is free. It's used by billions of websites. I use it on Vibechill, I use it on Gaps, I use it on all of my Rank and Rent websites. And you don't actually have to go to WordPress.org or whatever host you have. So if it's Bluehost or HostGator or Namecheap as I recommended, they will have something in their system where you can just make a couple of clicks and they will install that for you and have your website in place. So whatever host you use, just ask them about WordPress and they will know and they will be able to help you get that set up. For the content, so when I do outsource content, if I don't want to write it myself, iWriter.com, $5 to $7 for 500 word article with unlimited revisions. You couldn't order 100 articles and put them into some incredible book or anything like that. They are not the best written pieces of content, but they are typically good enough. If you want a virtual assistant to help you with link building or building out the websites or writing copy or anything like that, a resource I love is onlinejobs.ph. So the virtual assistant will be someone from the Philippines, very affordable pricing. And the reason I like working with people from the Philippines is because they have a great command of English. The theme for your website is totally irrelevant. Do not think about this. You're thinking too much. If that's a concern of yours, worry about it when your website ranks, if you worry about it at all. If you want to know more about link building, again, it's a bit more than I can cover just in this video today. But for Rank and Rent, you can do any kind of link building you want. If you want to learn more about the subject, you can go to my website, viberchill.com/link-building. And if you want to do outreach, so once you have a website ranking and you want to start contacting businesses to actually rent it from you, I recommend either reply.io, which is free for 30 days, or Gmass, which is connects to your Gmail account, lets you send unlimited emails for $13 to $20 per month. And this is different to a normal regular sending an email from your account because it lets you do follow-ups. So if someone doesn't answer you, you can write another email to go out within 3 days later or 5 days later or whatever it is. And just to clarify, I don't use contracts for Rank and Rent. I don't need to talk to businesses on the phone. Businesses simply want leads and they will pay if you provide them. Now, we're not done quite yet. There is still a bit more to this training that I'm pretty excited to share with you. But before I do that, there is something I have to say. There's work here, okay? I'm not preaching some get rich quick, make money online scheme, okay? There's work here. Of course there is. There is no other way to make money. But if you think for a second that you can't make money with this very quickly because it's saturated or whatever excuses in your head, just keep something in mind. 20 million people in America last year were running around the streets looking for Pokemon on their phones. These are mostly adults. I have nothing against that, everyone should have a bit of fun now and then, but just keep that in mind. 20 million adults running around the streets of America looking for Pokemon. Every single second, 8,796 photos are being shared on Snapchat. For the average person, Facebook has 50 minutes of your time each day, and they do everything they can to keep you on their website longer and on Instagram longer as well. Netflix binge figures are higher than ever before. People are watching their favorite shows up to 2 hours a day. Nobody has free time anymore until the new season of their favorite show comes out on Netflix. How true is that? And the reason I say all this is because, not to criticize anyone, it's up to anyone how they spend their time, but that's your competition. The people who you think are doing this and make this too saturated for yourself, they're playing on Snapchat, they're watching Netflix, they're on Facebook Live, they're running around the streets looking for Pokemon. And again, it's up to people how they want to spend their time. But just give this 30 minutes per day for 1 week. Even if you don't believe anything I say, give this 30 minutes per day for 1 week and you've got at least one website set up and ready to rank. Even if you've never built a website before. I'm not smarter than you or anyone else, I just do other things when I could be watching TV. Now, you've already went through close to an hour of free training. So from here, there are 2 paths you can take. Path 1 is trial and error, so use what I've taught you today in this free training, take action and see what results you can get. The other path is to be taken by the hand by a proven mentor. Now, I only have about 10 minutes left today in this video. I'm working on some big SEO experiments, but I have to explain to you why this opportunity is super important right now. I'm always learning about new aspects of SEO and what works and new skills and so on. And a few months ago, I wrote an article on my blog called 13 Advanced Link Building Strategies You Probably Haven't Used. It received over 100 comments, was shared on social media thousands of times, and it covered a lot of advanced ways on how to analyze websites and use that analysis to be able to build links to your site and get content ideas and so on. It's something I hadn't previously done for SEO. I hadn't seen anyone else talking about it, and the result was pretty incredible. Like I said, it was shared thousands of times, made the homepage of inbound.org, tweeted by some of the biggest names in SEO. The same insights, the same things that I was learning towards the end of 2016, I took those strategies and tactics and I built my own keyword tool to help me find incredible SEO opportunities. And as a result, today the system I've built consists of more than 160,000 rank and rent keyword tools. So not only do I have the search volume for them, I have the cost per click from Google AdWords, I have the opportunity, so this is my own personal score of whether I think it's a good niche to target. I literally have a database of 160,000 keywords, as you can see a little example there, all related to rank and rent. So what I've done, this is something I did towards the end of 2016, got an amazing reaction. What I've done in 2017 is now I've taken that further and I've taken that huge database and I've been able to connect those terms to available exact match domains. So domains, for example, maybe tax attorney near me, finding taxattorneynearme.com or .co.uk or .com.au and so on, depending on the location where you want to rank. So I've taken that database this year, 2017, and matched it up with available domain names. And just going back to the example I shared earlier with the mobile pet grooming, the two examples, they both had the exact term they were trying to rank for in their domain name. It just makes it so much easier to rank these websites in Google. Now, access to my keyword tool and the database I have has actually been closed for more than 4 months. No one has been able to join or use it at all, only previous students of my training. And this training, for those who are tired of what is out there in regards to making money online, this is in a category of its own. The truth is though, that there's a very good chance you are not the type of person who would benefit from access to this information and these tools. If you don't have a burning desire to be financially secure with total freedom to do whatever you like, or if you have a history of failing to take action when given opportunities, this is not for you. As one of America's most successful CEOs put it, we don't teach people to be nice. We simply hire nice people. I can't make you have a desire for more in life. However, if you already have that desire, we could team up and do some incredible things together. Because when these incredible opportunities come along, as they have in the past few months and all of this new learning that I've been doing, I have an unfair advantage to profit from them. How? I created a private community solely dedicated to landing SEO clients and ranking websites in Google. So just a quick look here at the Marketing forums. I'm very proud of these forums. I really love them. So we have more than 3,000 discussions and more than 22,000 posts from people all focused on this same business model. So we got the general marketing forums, follow along case studies that people share, SEO HQ, success stories, introductions, and so on. In success stories, you can see people just love to share what has worked for them. Giving back, what landed as a client in December 2016, a $7,000 rank and rent sale. My advice to students, BPC's 20K challenge. 24 hours, I closed a $5,000 a month client. Jabber's marketing agency, like 6-page discussions on someone's success story. Closed my first client over $1,000 a month. $20,000 a month case study. $20,000 client, and they just go on and on. And every one of these case studies just goes into massive detail about what they're doing, what works, what isn't working for them, and they just keep updating the thread, and it's really something I enjoy reading. So here's an example here, BPC. His update after day 111 of joining Marketing Inc. Total cash received from new business, $43,760, and we're all in there congratulating him. I just love this community. So just some more success stories from that forum. Jesse landed a $5,000 a month client within 24 hours. Riz had his largest personal 1-month income ever, made $7,000 last month. Actually, he made over $8,000. Before that, he had $1,500 to his name. Clyde closed his first client for $1,000 a month after just 9 days, and that includes a setup fee of $3,000. Sector now has a client paying him $20,000 a month. He's been getting paid for 5 months now, and he says the client is very happy. Styphoon landed a $3,000 client with no pressure. Flang 2, I closed my first client before my 26th birthday this Sunday. That's $750 payment. And then BPC, which we just covered, in his 90-day challenge, he received $43,760. And now, combined with the world's only rank and rent keyword tool, students are finding niches to enter in seconds. We also have an agreement with Moz, an SEO software company worth tens of millions of dollars, to use their data, their keyword difficulty stats. We're allowed to use that in our tool now, which is going to make it so much better. So, if you want to spend your days working in an industry you're truly passionate about, serve businesses in your industry and really help them with their marketing, have me personally watch over your success with this business model, and build massive goodwill in your marketplace while selling like crazy, and get access to hundreds of available exact match domains with search traffic so people are actually searching for the terms in them, then this is specifically for you. When we first launched this training, we were blown away by how quickly all of our students were landing clients and in industries they love. We have students from all over the world, it doesn't matter where they are or what language they speak, who are ranking websites and renting them out and offering amazing services to their clients. Now, I understand that. You may have a 9-to-5 job. You've maybe never built a business before. You have obligations which take up time. You've probably never even done marketing or outsourced it for clients before. Marketing Inc. is a full-fledged package of everything you need to build a successful business quicker than any other business model we know. With Marketing Inc., you get access to over 18 hours of video training. You can log in anytime, day or night, via mobile, tablet, or desktop. At the start of every module, you'll see an introduction video. You also have a checklist at the end of every module so you can keep track of your progress. We just go into massive detail with every section of this training, and we're adding new modules to the course all of the time. So the first module inside the course is about starting successful. You're going to get a case study of one niche agency going from $60,000 per year to $2.4 million per year in just 24 months. You're going to learn how to decide which industry to dominate with your niche agency if that's the route that you want to go down. We're going to give you more than 100 hand-picked lucrative niche opportunities that you can get started in right now. Going to show you how to brand and name your agency to show expertise right from the start. One of our successful students, Daryl, is going to go into a detailed case study of how he's now making more than $10,000 per month. And we're going to go into a big case study of one of our own agencies. It started as a rank and rent website, and then we turned it into an agency because it was getting so many inquiries. Our own agency making thousands of dollars per month. So we're going to show you the exact website, the URL, the rankings it's got, and even the emails that clients are sending us. In the next module, we'll look at how to rank and sell SEO. You'll get a jumpstart guide to SEO and the power of links, so whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or advanced with SEO, this will clarify everything for you. We also have an in-depth guide to building private link networks. A lot of people ask, is this like all of the training? Is most of it focused around link networks? No, around 5% of our training, but if you want to know about them, the information is there. If you don't want to use them, that's totally fine. It is not a requirement. We're going to give you beginner to advanced insights to ranking for local SEO, so area-based search terms, pricing models. If you get this wrong, you are going to struggle. Pricing models that attract potential SEO clients. Once again, we're going to share personal case studies of ranking with local SEO, so our exact websites, our exact rankings, and so on. We're going to show you how to rank YouTube videos within hours and massively impress clients. This is something that people are getting results with very, very quickly. You're going to get a checklist for the ultimate SEO strategy so you can know exactly what you need to do step by step without being confused at any point in the way. And in the next module on finding and closing clients, we cover things like the one page you must have on your website, which will give you instant credibility. It's better than the industry report you may have heard me talk about in the past. I go into detail on a $21,000 launch case study, so someone's starting from scratch trying to get clients, and in their first week they made $21,000, and I'm going to break that down for you every step of the way. I'm going to share a social network which only one person I know is using to drive hundreds of leads to his agency. It's not Twitter, it's not Reddit, it's not Facebook, it's not Instagram, it's not Pinterest, but it does get a lot of traffic. I'm going to reveal a counterintuitive way to get people like me happily sending clients your way. We're going to share actual people to outsource all of the work to, including job offer examples if you don't want to do the work yourself. Over 60 minutes of video of me entering a brand new industry and showing how I would dominate it. A 90-day strategy guide so you can put all of this together again step by step so you know exactly what you have to do. And a massive action checklist to ensure your success. In the next module on getting rich with SEO, we have an exclusive interview with reality TV star and millionaire agency owner Robin Kastner. We're going to give you a guide on how to quadruple sales and using outreach with simple video messages to make a lot more money. Not only does BPC have that forum thread, he also created a module specifically for our training program on how exactly he got that $43,000 in his first 90 days and how he ranks client websites with ease. We have a case study from another student, Josh, on how he received a $100,000 car in return for offering SEO services. Another case study by Daryl, another module that he added to our training on how he builds powerful backlinks for his websites. Another student, Azam, created more than 20 minutes of video on how he now does more than $14,000 a month. You may recall that I covered Azam at the start of this video today. Another huge case study on one of our own agencies, again, the URLs, the traffic, the emails from clients, and so on. And a 90-day strategy for changing your life with this model. And everything we can do for you, we have done for you. So we literally help you set up your agency website. We've got a template for you to use. It's copy and paste setup, has more than 30 modules. You can copy and paste different sections, whatever you want to include. If you were to buy this yourself, it would be around $1,000, and it's totally beginner friendly. We're going to show you the email templates we use for outreach, whether it's contacting potential clients or wanting to rent out our websites. the tools we use in our business on a daily basis, and the professionals we recommend for outsourcing all of the work to. And don't forget, instant access to over 160,000 rank and rent keywords and the exact match domains which are freely available to go with them. And that's not all. I just put together a huge module on a recent Google update which reveals one of the best opportunities that has ever come along in 11 years of doing this for finding clients. So if you want to find clients, I just have a huge module on that on a recent Google change which helps you find literally 100,000 potential clients with very big marketing budgets. Now, I know you have a busy lifestyle and you're probably wondering how long all of this will take to implement. Not a single success story, ours included, was achieved by people who were able to follow this business model full time. Not a single screenshot from our forums of those success stories and those numbers people are pulling in was someone who was able to do this full time. Now, if you are happy with me and you understand the huge opportunity here, you're going to love working with Diggy. Diggy's the kind of guy who just takes action. So here's my business partner with pretty much everything I do. So late last year, I decided to challenge Diggy a little bit and told him we needed to rank a new case study website for Marketing Inc. He didn't seem too bothered by that until I told him I wanted to share it with our students in the next 2 weeks. And then I finished my request by saying, Diggy, can you rank a term with SEO in it so it's a little more impressive? Thank you. You will find the results of that inside our training as well, but little spoiler alert, Diggy did not let me down. Marketing Inc. is the best deal that exists today for helping you build a highly profitable online business. I will put my entire reputation behind that, 0 exceptions. Because of that, we have to be very cautious about who we work with. And the truth is, I don't know if we would work well together. Diggy especially is very choosy about who we bring on board. If you're not the kind of person who rises to the occasion when presented with a challenge, this is not for you. We can stop right here. Thank you for watching the video. I really appreciate your time, but let's just be straight together here. If you're not that kind of person, this is not for you. And Diggy especially was very adamant that I included this. Now look, if you're still with us, if you are still here, I know there's something about this deal that interests you. But here's the thing. You need to make a decision within the next 7 days. On the 8th of February 2017, the doors are closing once again. We have not opened this training. We haven't accepted a single student in the last 4 months. So on the 8th of February, the doors are closing once again. On Wednesday night, the train is leaving the station and access to Marketing Inc. closes. Most people spend their lives chained to a desk, living for the weekend, and working on somebody else's dreams. All with no hope of ever being financially free and getting to work on their own dreams. Fortunately, there is another option and our students are living it. Now, if you want to learn business by getting an MBA, you would spend at least $100,000 to $200,000 and lose 2 years of your life. Or if you want to franchise an offline business like a Subway or a 7-Eleven, you're looking at around $500,000 in investment costs. Marketing Inc. doesn't require a $500,000 investment. It doesn't require a $100,000 or $200,000 investment. In fact, it's not even $50,000, it's not $20,000, it's not $5,000. You can go through the same proven process that has built 6- and 7-figure businesses and help people quit their 9-to-5 jobs and get detailed insights on the recent Google update you need to be taking advantage of for just one payment of $997. We also have payment plans available. And you can access Marketing Inc. with 0 risk, so it's backed by the bank of myself and my business partner, Diggy. If you follow the steps inside and you don't land clients or make money in your first 60 days, you will get a 100% refund. That's how much we trust our training. And I will let you keep access to the course and all future updates as an apology for it not working for you. Right now, for a very limited period of time, you're in a small window of opportunity to get your hands on Marketing Inc. Make the decision. If you're on the fence, please don't join us. But if you're certain you're ready to take your finances to the next level, come and join our private community doing exactly that. If you take action before Wednesday the 8th, you'll see the price of our once-off payment option is massively reduced. It's literally 50% cheaper than the payment options. And you can view that at marketinginc.com/X. And for all of those bonuses I promised you today, the $10,000 a month case study, the high paying cost per click industries to target, just email bonus, so use that as the subject line, to hello@marketinginc.com and I will personally reply to you. And I'll also send you this replay video so you can skip to different parts, watch them again, and so on. The controls are there so you can skip to any part of the video. Keep in mind again that the doors are closing on Wednesday, the 8th of February. Hopefully I will see you inside. marketinginc.com/X. No matter your decision, I hope you got a lot out of today's video. I thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate your time. And again, I will happily send you those bonuses. So just send me an email, hello@marketinginc.com, and I will get those to you. Thank you for watching.